All right, so today we want to talk about some misconceptions or different ideas about when you transition from part-time to full-time. Some things that people generally don't think about, and ones that we definitely didn't think about, or that we just didn't know about when we went full-time last year. So one of the biggest things is kind of know your travel style, right? If you plan on being somewhere, or like your location isn't flexible, right, then you need to plan far enough in advance, right? So if you, like for us, we knew we had to be in New England because that's where my job's tied to, right? So our location's not really flexible as far as, we had to stay within a certain mile range around my office, so we had to plan far enough in advance that we could get campgrounds and locations to put the RV, instead of saying, oh well, we can't find something, so maybe let's move another 50 miles or 100 miles down the road, or something like that. So you got to really plan if you have to be tied to one location, because if you don't plan, you might not find a place to stay, or you might be moving a lot, right? You might be moving every couple days or every couple weeks. And that's what happened to us. We actually jumped into it in August of last year, and we didn't have enough time to plan we're going to stay a month here, a month there. So we actually moved just about every couple weeks up until like November, right? Or October, the last week of October. And then we stayed in one place until the middle of December, before we left New England en route to Texas. So
I think another misconcept is to think that going full-time could be cheaper than staying in your house. It can be, but starting off, not necessarily, because you're starting to pay for more deposits if you're going to be moving around more. You still have a payment if you're doing a payment plan for your RV. So, in the long run, it could save you money, but be prepared that when you start it, it's not going to save any kind of money.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it on last videos, right? When you buy your RV, it doesn't come with everything. So that's one of those added expenses, is you have to buy your hoses and the water pressure regulator and all those things. But then, right, like Kendra said, there's those added expenses. That's the thing that we did not plan for at all, was calling and making all these reservations to campgrounds. Everybody's going to want a deposit, and some deposits were, very cheap. Some were like $50. Others were 50% of the overall stay. And some of those places that we're going to stay for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, those up in New England, southern New England, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, those were $600, $700, $800, $1,000. In fact, our deposit to stay at the KOA through the winter time was $1,000 up front. And so you have to plan on that. Have some savings that's kind of separate from your normal savings that you're just using for those deposits. Yes, you're going to get those back, when you stay there, but then again, you have to make another deposit to another campground when you're moving on from there. So that was one of the big ones that we didn't think about. And then also, when you start staying longer term at some of these sites, things that you're not thinking, you're like, oh well, I'm getting, I don't have to pay electricity anymore, and I don't have to pay water and things like that. But some of these sites that you get into, maybe if you're going to do seasonal, or if you're going to do a month or longer, then you're going to have to, maybe pay some utilities. Like we're paying for electricity right now. We've had to pay for electricity since November at the place that we're at now. At the KOA that we stayed at in Mystic, Connecticut, we had to pay electricity. So just, that's one of those things that you necessarily don't think about. If you're staying for a week or two at a time and moving on, or even generally if you're staying for 30 days and moving on, you're not going to have to pay for electricity. But if you plan to be seasonal or more permanent there, whether it be for a couple months, or whatnot, you're generally going to have to probably pay some electricity. You know, so it's just that whole thought is, I'm going to get into the RV lifestyle to save money. You can do it, but you have to really plan it, right? Maybe if you're going to boondock more, where there's no hookups and you're not paying for RV sites and things like that, where, you know, some of that added expense comes in. You know, and again, if you're going to have that newer RV, you're going to have that loan, like Kendra talked about. And with the rates of RVs going up and still going up over the last few years, you know, what you would have paid for in a loan on a new RV, you know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, is going to be double, maybe sometimes even more now. So you could be paying upwards of, you know, $700, $800, $900 to get into a larger RV, depending on your family size. So I would say another big one, and one that we pretty much decided before we even bought the trailer, was having a warranty. This is your house, right? And it's not like, oh, if my air conditioner goes out, I can live in it and somebody can come service it. Yes, there are mobile techs, but if something major happens and it has to go into a dealership, and dealerships are backed up for a month, 2 months, 3 months, you could be without a house for that long. You know, and so, you know, really look into warranties. Sometimes warranties will help cover expenses if you have to move out of your RV, but it'll also help cover some of those major repairs as well. You know, after that 1 year manufacturer's warranty is up, you know, that's worst case. Your AC goes out. Well, it's not like, you know, a house AC that can come in and recharge it, things like that. Generally, you're gonna have to get a new AC, or maybe major plumbing issues, right? Having a warranty is extremely important, because this is your house and you're driving it down the road.
Well, you know, I think we learned that lesson from the very beginning, because when we took our other RV out just as part-time, the first one, we had a blowout, and the blowout damaged the underbelly of the RV. So, you know, at that point we knew, hey, you never know what could happen when you have your RV.
Yeah, so really, it's second trip, but first out-of-town trip. Yeah. You know, our shakedown, we did it local, but our first out-of-town, right, we had a blowout. And that was almost $2,000 we had to get all new tires, and then we had to repair the damage, and it ripped some cables in half, and things like that. So yeah, absolutely, it's one that you have to plan for. And having a warranty can help cover wheels and tires if you get that added. In fact, we partner with an awesome company, and you know, I truly believe that the wholesale warranty is probably one of the best on the market, because they offer several different types of plans and they tailor it to you and what you're going to need, whether you're full-time or part-time. You know, it's worth a talk, and it's worth the added expense for that peace of mind.
Well, not only they've treated us so well, that's why we decided to, you know, promote them. Their customer service is hands down 0 to none. Like, it's amazing. They're patient. You know, they talk you through everything. The guy that we first talked to, he was so great. So, you know, we definitely recommend them. But, you know, look around, see what you can find. But having a warranty, if you're usually not a warranty kind of person, if you're going full-time in your RV, I would definitely look into a warranty.
Yeah. Well, and it's, you know, a lot of people carry warranties on their houses, right? Sometimes they cost $500 or $1,000 a year, you know, and it covers things like appliances, right? If you're going to have a warranty in your house, why not have a warranty on a house that you're pulling down the road with you? You know, and so I think it's great, and it's one that we're going to continue to have. And if you want more information, or you want to contact them, go to countrysiderving.com/wholesale warranty, and then, you know, let them know that we sent you. Yes, we do get, you know, a little kickback from the company if you purchase a warranty from them, but even if we didn't, we would still recommend them, because it's been a tremendous easy process. And in fact, from the first time we talked to them until the time the RV got delivered, the package is adjusted, right? We were going to buy what they call their inclusive or their exclusive package, and a wheel and tire warranty. And then by the time we actually made the purchase, after our RV showed up, they actually combined those, so I didn't have to pay 2 different premiums and 2 different deductibles and things like that. And it's a one-time thing, right? They can spread out your payments and things like that, so it's not like you're forking out all this money up front. Bring those payments out can help, you know, and then once it's your premium is paid for, it's paid for, and ours is good for 7 years. And if we upgrade into another trailer, then we can take what we've paid towards this one and use it towards the next warranty towards the new RV. So I think that's a big plus.
So the next thing that we want to talk about is being flexible, and I mean that very loosely. Going into a full-time RV, you know, when you have your house, you know what to expect. Your home is your home. That's where you go. You know, going full-time into the RV, you don't know what to expect, because every day is just kind of a little bit different than the day before. So what we recommend is just remember to have patience with yourself and with your family, and just be flexible, because things change from day to day.
Being flexible, though, you still kind of have to have a routine, right? We did talk about this, right? Got to be flexible in the things change, right? You get to that RV park, you don't like it, you want to move on, or bad weather's coming, right? And you don't want to be there with the bad weather, so you got to be flexible, move on. But also having that routine, especially if you have kids, having that routine of knowing roughly this is what time dinner has always been served in our sticks and bricks, so this is what time it's going to be in the RV, what time bedtime is, you know, their chores, right? Maybe they don't have as many chores, maybe they're not mowing the grass, something like that, but there are other things that in the RV life that they can get used to. Maybe that you change them to dumping tanks and things like that, right? But there are ways to keep those schedules as well, you know, so it kind of helps ease some of that transition time for your kids, you know, and it's all about you as well. If you treat this like it's a full-time vacation, then your kids are going to treat it like it's a full-time vacation, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're after, right? But our kids still have to go to school, right? We do homeschool them, right? And you know, this first year we chose a pretty strict curriculum, but still allowed flexibility for schedules. And you know, going into year 2, you know, we're changing the way we're going to do schooling a little bit, and we're going to be more flexible but have more of a schedule as well, so the kids know what to look forward to as far as when spring break, you know, quote what their spring break would be, when their planned days off are, just kind of like a traditional school, so they kind of know. But then if we miss a day here or there, you know, we can still make it up, right? We want to still be flexible with that. You know, we don't necessarily need an 8 to 4 curriculum.
I just know, like, for us and our family, like, our kids have grown up with a lot of structure, and the more we didn't provide that to them, the more they thought that it was a free-for-all. So we had to kind of be patient with that in our new surroundings, but get them back to their a little bit structured on what they're used to. So, you know, and it takes patience from everybody and everything to make that adjustment.
Yeah. And I would say probably our last tip is one that's going to be more comfortable, right? Absolutely recommend, you need to change your RV mattresses, right?
Unless you like already get like a fancy one when you buy the RV.
Yeah, but most of the time they generally come with a very thin mattress. It may be good for a month or 2 or 6 months, but ultimately, if this is your house that you're in full time, you want it to feel like that. You wouldn't have just taken the mattress that came with your house to sleep on. right? You maybe like a firmer mattress or a softer mattress or a memory foam or whatever it is, right? In your sticks and bricks, you have a mattress that fits you. You have one that fits your kids, one they find comfortable, right? Those little teddy bear mattresses, you know, that are generally about 2 inches, and I think the ones that actually came in our grand design are more somewhere around the 3 to 4 inch mark. Still not entirely comfortable. Our daughter's still sleeping on one because she's fairly light, so it doesn't affect her much, but now she's starting, we've been in it almost a year, she's starting to really feel that it breaks down in the middle. Our son was only in it maybe 6 months, being almost a teenager, and upgraded his mattress. Our mattress, from day one we took it out, never even slept on it, and put what we wanted in there. In fact, our son loves his mattress so much. Again, you know, we partnered with the company Mattress Insiders, because they custom make the mattress for your needs and your size, and that's what I wanted. Like, we looked for the biggest bunk possible for my son, so why get a mattress that maybe is smaller than that, because then that shrinks his sleeping area, you know, or maybe you can only find mattresses that are too big for that area, right? So Mattress Insiders, they custom make it, and they offer a bunch of different products and thicknesses, you know, so we found a good happy medium for him, and he's been in it now since about January or February, and he loves it. He loves his mattress. It's super comfortable. We don't
find him trying to get in our bed at 11 years old because he says his mattress is uncomfortable. So
yeah, and so that part of that's easing that transition, you know, and treating it like it's your home, and not just this is what you're given, make do, right? You know, so definitely upgrade your RV mattress. And if you want more information on them as well, you can go to countrysiderving.com/mattress insiders, and there's going to be a link for it, you know, right here. But yeah, check them out, see what they have to offer. There are a bunch of other companies. In fact, we will be upgrading our daughters this year, because she's more in the standard size. So if we upgrade trailers at some point, her mattress will go. Our son's is
custom made now.
Yeah, well, it's custom for, and it's not a standard size length and width of a, you know, double size or a full size in an RV. You know, hopefully we'll be able to take it, but if not, we'll definitely be getting him another one. You know, going full time is definitely intimidating. You know, you look at it and you see, you know, everything that we do, and you make it, and maybe we make it look fun, and we don't necessarily show you all the struggles. You know, as well as most other content creators, you see all the wonderful things and places they go and see, and the things they do. You know, but it does come with those reservations and those learning curves and those adjustments and things that, you know, mistakes that we made when we started in August of last year, that hopefully that, you know, we'll educate a little bit, and you'll know and can plan on, because it's been a very rewarding last year, and one that, you know, we kind of said we'll do it for a year and see how it goes, and that year's coming up, and we're not sure. I think we're going to at least give it one more year, but you know, we wouldn't, if we didn't have this opportunity, we wouldn't have been able to come to Texas and be with family for the last several months. You know, so there's pros and cons to it, just like everything. But you know, we hope you go into it with a little bit more knowledge, and definitely tell us if you have any tips that you can think of. Please leave them in the comments, because we want to learn, and we want other people to see it and learn as well.
Well, and you know, if you have any questions, concerns, you know, please, you know, feel free to message us. You know, it's a big change, but it's for the better if it's right for your family. So, you know, we'll tell you all the good, the bad, the fun, the not so fun.
Yeah.
You know.
And we do, and we have several more technical style videos that we want to do, but we're really excited to share with you what season 3 is going to bring for us. You know, we definitely what we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to we were still going to do another season in the Northeast, but you know, plans changed, and again,
well,
being that flexible,
it might change, it might not. So
yeah, true. But you know, I think we have some exciting things planned.
But as soon as we know, we'll let y'all know.
Yeah. And when you say that, our season 3 has changed several times, and it may change one more time from what we have planned. But you know, we're making the best of it, making the routes, and we've already started recording some episodes for season 3, and we're ready to start releasing those. But I think, you know, we're going to do a video over our navigation and how that has changed over the last 2 years of RVing now, and getting stuck down some roads that we've had to back out of, and things like that. I know we've talked about doing a homeschooling video and talk about where we're at, and I think, you know, we'll do that, but we'll probably do that somewhere in the middle of season 3, you know, once we have started the second year of homeschooling, and how those changes, and so we have some more perspective on what to give you.
Yeah. But if you have any questions about how to get started with homeschooling, please feel free to reach out. By any means, we're no pros. You know, we're still learning, and it was our first year, and we hit some bumps and turns, but you know, getting started, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Yeah. And we wouldn't have been able to do it or have as much knowledge if it weren't for several friends of ours as well that have done homeschooling as well. You know, so we may not have the answer, but we do have a bunch of friends that homeschool that, you know, aren't necessarily in the RV lifestyle either, but have been doing it for many years, and have used a bunch of different curriculums, you know. Yeah. So it's something that you know, we may not know the answer to, but we can help get you pointed in the right direction.
Most definitely.
So